Oxford University Music Discussion Society is very honored and excited to speak with Nut, three exclamation marks, formerly known as Young Nut. He has described himself as the Michael Cera of the rap game and has
Yes.
over 20 million streams on Spotify. He's a man who needs no introduction, so I'll let him get on with it. So take it away, Nut.
Thank you very much for having me. Am I just rolling through my personal life? Everything that's
Yeah,
going on?
just yeah, as I spoke to you, just whatever, maybe talk about your career, just talk about, I
Of,
know you do
of,
improv, so
of
just
course, of course,
yeah.
of course. Thank you, sir. The year was 1998. Uh, I was popped out of the womb and I came out as a man. Uh, and then some, we're just going to move forward. The year was 2016. I was in college. We're going to move back. Let's just, okay, first of all, hello, my name is Nut. My real name's Cam. My stage name is Nut. I'm formerly known as Young Nut. I've since changed it. I have an album dropping in like a month and a half. I am a rapper. I'm a songwriter, producer, all that stuff wrapped into one, a man of many talents. But most of all, you know, I'm a guy who hangs out, does extremely cool ass shit, and here mostly to make friends. We'll see how this goes. Uh, so I'm a musician. You guys know that. I started basically actually how I met Kaede. We were in speech and debate together in high school, and I was always just like the extremely loud, annoying kid in classes who would always talk, and then you would be like, "Oh my God, shut the fuck up!" in your head about that. I was the kid who was talking a lot, so I joined speech and debate. Was not really my thing, but I'm good at. I mean, like, I'm to some people I'm not great, but I like to public speak. It's fun to talk in front of people. So then from there, I kind of started doing stand-up comedy when I was like 15 or 16. And that was my thing until I went to college. I joined a comedy club in college. So I was doing like improv, stand-up, sketch comedy, stuff like that. And my roommate was a completely random roommate. His name's Rashab. I ended up living with him for 4 years. He's one of my best friends. We're very similar, except he loved like rapping and freestyling and stuff like that. And I was terrible at all of that, but would go with it anyways because I try to be funny, that type of stuff. And then from there, it became like a bit that I would do in my comedy club of just like making songs or like freestyling. It was very embarrassing at the time and still kind of is, but I, with my roommate, ended up making a mixtape, which did like whatever. It was like kind of a joke around like the other freshmen on campus. So I had officially released my first song. This was April 2017 under the name Young Nut. It was like 6 or so songs. They were all terrible, just off YouTube beats that I found online. Not even like the good ones, like the shitty YouTube beats. I no previous recording experience but I'm a writer. That was like my best skill. I was a screenwriting major throughout college. Not the best major to get into, more so just to get through college. You guys know how it is. Uh, I mean, yeah. Look at you guys. Uh, and yeah, I released a mixtape. It was kind of like a joke around campus, and then that summer, like June, I dropped my next song. It was called "I Don't Eat Ass," and it got 11 million streams, completely out of nowhere. And now it is 2021, and I'm still riding off the high of that. So that's kind of my life. It was really funny. it just came out within 6 months. It had like 200,000 streams. I don't even, it was just the Spotify algorithm. They have a great algorithm, and like the playlisting, like the social media aspect towards it really helped me. Um, a combination of the stupid name of the song and also the beat that I used. It was a sample of the song Mr. Sandman by the Chordettes. And I had no idea, but that sample that ended up being like the big meme rap sample of that time. A few other people did it too, and it got way more streams on theirs than mine, which I'm very happy about. My song was definitely the worst one though, like in terms of quality, song titles, all that stuff. Um, but yeah, I made a video to it, got a ton of views. It was really cool, completely random. I was not expecting it at all. But from there, I dropped a few more songs. They ended up doing well. And then uh, kind of just kept riding off that. At the end of 2019, so this had been about 2 years into my like music career. I was in college. I was like a senior in college, and I had about 250,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Um, what had just gone to the Grammys. I ended up making just like connections in the music industry because I try to my best skill, which I'm obviously displaying here right now to all you guys. I try to be just like as personable as I can. I th- I I mean, at least I believe. You guys don't have to agree with me, but I tend to say I have a good personality. I come off as a friendly guy. Kind of tried to ride that into making friends and business relationships, which worked out. Um, got to go to a lot of cool things, meet cool people, got some celebrity interaction, which is always fun. Um, and then through not any having anything to do with like music connections, more so just the person dating my sister is in a band that was going to play at Coachella. So I was going to go to Coachella with them too. And that was in February 2020. Things were looking awesome. In January, I signed a distribution deal for my songs for an undisclosed amount of money that I'm not going to tell you guys because it's not your business. Trying to figure me out. You're not going to do it. Yeah, I signed a distribution deal for my songs. Had this whole rollout plan, like music videos lined up. I was going to go to LA to shoot with this director who had just done videos for these like big artists, which was exciting. I had like a manager. I have a manager. He was like arguing these big number deals, which was like crazy and stressful. Um, and then I released the first song and music video of my distribution deal on March 13th, 2020, which was the same day that the NBA found its first case of coronavirus and shut down the league. It's the same day that Tom Hanks announced he got coronavirus. And that was the big day where the United States took coronavirus seriously and everything got shut down. It was like the big day of coronavirus in America. So probably the worst possible time to release a song called Lonely Nut in terms of having people care about the song that you release. Definitely the worst time to do that. It's, I mean, I obviously am incredibly privileged, and if that's the worst, that's not even the worst thing that's happened to me this year. But if that was the worst, I'm in no place to complain about it. Many people had their lives destroyed, obviously. But I'm just talking about my music career right now. So yeah, that was like whatever. So that sucked, and was about to move to Los Angeles, but obviously I'm not stupid. Why would I move to Los Angeles right now? those plans are halted, but hopefully in the future. Um, and yeah, that was my lease in my college house ended June 14th. I was gonna move to Los Angeles then, but ended up obviously not doing that. I am at my mommy and daddy's house, just hanging out, doing incredibly cool ass shit. Coolest things you've ever seen. That's what I'm doing. Having a great time. In that time, I halted the songs. I had like a schedule of releases. I was going to release a song a month. That was starting in March, but I ended up pausing that. Um, Also with like the George Floyd protests and everything, worst possible time to care about my songs for not only me but for everyone else. So took a pause on that. Also lost my ability to record just for like germ reasons. It's a pandemic, you know how it is. And ended up just kind of having, oh, I changed my name from Young Nut to Nut. Uh, all capitals with 3 exclamation points. That was my way of kind of trying to rebrand, but not really, like maintain the same image because I'm no different. But my name, I felt like was holding me back within the idea of like the joke rappers who are like Lil something or Young something. Um, so I just took the Young out of it, and I'm making similar music, but a little more. I'm trying to make more adult music, not even adult, just to follow myself as I grow up. I'm 22 now. I was 18 when I started. Those are formative years. You guys know how it is. Um, so yeah, I rebranded. Through the rebrand, ended up losing half of my monthly listeners just through difficulties through that, which was fantastic for my situation. And, you know, my monthly income, it was great. Had a great time doing it. But also ended up having, you know, not to sound like a douche, but like important mental realizations as to, um, you know, just like not letting numbers affect my sense of self-worth and stuff like that. 'Cause it sounds stupid and uh but like I mean obviously you're a young person, you're like a teenager, and then you have hundreds of thousands of people listen to you and you feel like you're the shit, even though your songs are named jokes and your name is a joke and all that stuff. And I've tried to never be an asshole, although everyone's guilty of that to a degree, but not in terms of like numbers and shit. I don't know. It was more of a self-worth. I felt like I was cool. Felt like I was a little celebrity. And then half of that was taken away from me. Everyone stopped giving a shit. And it, you know, it's gonna make you feel like no one gives a shit about you. So I had a realization as of more so just like that's the stupidest thing. People are dying. Stop taking the internet so seriously, and yourself. Who gives a shit about? Like, just make songs. So I shifted all of my focus on producing. I learned how to produce over quarantine instead of freaking out about not being able to record songs. Because I've always been more of like a writer. That was my like skill, like at least for writing songs. I like actually cared about the things I was saying, even if they were dumb. And so I worked. That was like the thing I worked hard at. I had no idea how to produce. It seemed very difficult. And I figured by the time I had learned how to make a beat good enough to rap on, it'd be years in the future. It ended up being incredibly easy. The first beat that I made is going to be the first song on my next album. Um, and it's honestly really fun. It made me kind of fall in love with the music making process again. I feel like a producer. I'm on the computer. I feel like a computer hacker. You know, it's a fun time. I'm having a good little time just hanging out making songs. Since then, I kind of planned out the songs that I'd already released with the distribution deal I signed, with a few more songs that I'm going to jumble into a big project. Not a big project, it's like 8 songs. But I have a whole rollout planned, and I have money going into like advertising, stuff like that. I have a couple features with like big artists in my like bubble of like my genre or whatever. So I have high hopes for my next release, which is coming soon. It'll be called Nutstar. Not to advertise myself, but yeah, if you want to give it a listen, go for it. No one's stopping you. Go for it. It'll be good or not good. I don't know your music taste. If you don't like it, totally fine. I don't care. Ask me if I care. I don't. I don't even give a shit about anything. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. In other news, today, if you want to give me a round of applause, is my 6-month anniversary with my girlfriend. Oh, please. Oh my God, you guys didn't have to do that. Stop. You guys are crazy. Oh my God, thank you. But that's cool. She's nice. Had a whole, that was also sort of intertwined with the whole, again, not to sound like a douche, but the mental realization of figuring out the important things in life and how you can have a whole plan for your future and it can all just be taken away by a global pandemic that kills hundreds of thousands of people. And just kind of figuring out, what you want to do with your life, what makes you happy, what gives you a sense of self-worth. So I had tried to have some realizations on the important things in life, and finding a girlfriend at the same time, my first like serious girlfriend, played a good part in that. So that I am including in this discussion for the students of Oxford University. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you, Nut. I feel like we've all gone through that COVID existential crisis one way or another.
Oh, of
So
course,
yeah,
it's yeah.
but I guess we're all in the society. We're all big fans of music, so it's very inspiring and interesting to hear the story of. I know you're a big fan of music too, but someone on the other side. Um, Before we get into some more lighthearted or fun questions, I'm just personally curious. I'm going to ask some more
Ask
serious
the
questions.
ask the most
Ask the
serious
serious.
questions you want.
I,
I'm here to get figured out.
Yeah, so it was interesting to hear your story about success. It was kind of a whole hero's journey that you've went through, success and things like that. I know. So I guess I'm just more curious about kind of maybe what was the first step. Like how did you even start to record that first song? Like what did you use to record? Was it Audacity? Like what was your equipment like for people
Oh,
who
for
maybe
sure.
want to, yeah,
This is a good question. I'm proud of you.
thank you.
Or no, I'm just good job. Okay. So it was just like I was trying to be like the funny guy. I'd been doing stand up. I was in a like comedy club. So I was excruciating to hang out with. I was trying, and that was also 2016, which was the worst time for like memes and internet humor,
Yeah.
of just everyone being a bitch. Sorry for my language. I apologize. But yeah, just the worst. So I was just making the lamest jokes, all that stuff. But that was just me trying to be funny mixed with my roommate who would freestyle all the time. He's from the Bay Area. That's what like he would do with his friends there. So I just would do it with him. Ended up becoming a bit in my comedy club, and then I like was doing like young nut stuff in like comedy skits at school, which then I was just translating on the internet. So it was like a bit on my Twitter and Instagram and stuff. And then it was just me running with the bit. I was making songs. I bought Audio Technica AT2020 microphone on Amazon. It's like $100. And since I'm a film major, the only software I knew how to use on a computer was Final Cut Pro. So I recorded everything until pretty recently, like until like maybe beginning of 2019. I did everything on Final Cut Pro, and like the layers and the dubs and everything, the files are humongous, and it's honestly embarrassing that I put so much effort into that and didn't just learn a different software, because it didn't sound that great. But I just, yeah, that's what I did. Final Cut Pro, really is a thing of just if you want to do something, you don't really even need all of the big softwares. You just kind of need the stupid idea and the desire to do it or whatever. I'm not here to give pep talks, but I mean, yeah, that's all it really takes. And then I had like a decent Twitter following at the time, probably like 2000 bigger accounts, a couple verified people, which made me feel cool about myself, or who also I can't leave out because that's also integral. I would say they would retweet my songs sometimes. That definitely helped with exposure. But for my big one, it was definitely Spotify. Their algorithm just went completely random on me. I was chosen, and that is the end of my answer.
Yeah, I guess like you said, the Spotify algorithm thing, it was kind of random or serendipitous how you went viral. I guess like you kind of talked about this, but how did you utilize that virality to kind of not just be a one hit wonder, but utilize that to keep your legacy going?
I didn't do a great I didn't do a great job of that. Uh I mean, I've always been a person who, I mean, at least with the people that I've met in the music scene that I'm grouped into, of like meme rappers, I know a lot of them personally. I'm doing a song with one of them. I was just on FaceTime with him. He has like almost a million monthly listeners. They all have a great job. They do a great job of like translating their like personas into internet memes, which I'm not good at. I feel like I'm a funny person. I've been successful trying to be a funny person, but I've never really been able to tap in to, I guess, to like digitally monetize that with like internet attention. Tried, put money into it. It is difficult. So I've done not bad, but I have a couple songs that got bigger. It's really just trying to figure out what people like, and then you release those songs and no one likes them, and then you try some random song and it does well. It's all random. It's really hard to try to figure out what people want from you. But I do what I can. It's a it's a tough job, but someone's got to do it, so I do.
And I know you said you're not gonna talk about the numbers or whatever, but I was just
I'll talk
interested.
about it.
I was just interested, like, what made you sign the distribution deal? I'm sure you're doing fine with just like Spotify revenues and stuff, but was it like, did you feel like you're selling out, or what was kind of the thought process going into that?
Gotcha. Good question. You're doing great. Um, it wasn't. It's not that. Also, it's not that I don't want to talk about numbers. It was more so just again going back to the existential crises of young adults during coronavirus. Uh, More so just I'd realized whether like was telling myself I wasn't or not, I was definitely um I had like a sense of self-worth attached to my numbers, which are inevitably going to fall as all numbers do. And it's hard not to attach your own sense of self-worth with the falling of like your attention. um but then I had a whole night where I was like, that's so dumb. You're like 22. Stop being a baby and go make songs. Um, so that was kind of what I did there. Which is, it's hard. You can't control the bad times, your bad mental times. You can do your best, and that's what everyone does. But with the selling out thing, no, I'm going to sell out as much as I can. I am a progressive, politically, not to get into politics. We don't have to talk about it. I identify as a progressive, but I'm also trying to, make it day by day. It's tough times. I'd like to have a house someday, buy my girlfriend flowers. You know how it is. So that was more attributed to the best way for me to advertise on the biggest platform that I have, which is Spotify. The distribution deal that I signed, I have a entertainment lawyer who argued specific like clauses, and because with any contract, they're not going to, the first version you get is not going to benefit you at all, even if it looks like it is going to. So I had a couple of weeks of going back and forth, agreeing on specific things. But the main thing that it helped with was playlisting on Spotify, and it put a budget into putting my songs into a specific playlist and connections that would get me onto like Spotify playlists and stuff like that. And that was the only thing that it. I mean, that's probably the biggest and not the only thing, but it's definitely like what I signed up for is just mass advertising on Spotify, which is my biggest platform and how I make my money for sure. Um, so they've definitely helped me. They're being great with me right now for my next rollout. Um, and definitely put more confidence in me as to like kind of being able to like calm down about having to like promote myself all the time, because if you just love music and you want to make songs, you want to be a musician, you're going to make great songs, but there's a very good chance that no one's going to ever see them. So it's everyone's trying to make songs, so you have to be like a brand. You have to be an image at all times, which is arguably more. Uh, you could say that that's more important than the music in a lot of ways. I mean, there are a lot of musicians who maybe make bad music but are good at promoting themselves and just get millions of kids to listen to their songs, give them money. It's difficult, and that's a talent in itself too. Even if they're like there are people who aren't even good at making actual music, but are good at branding themselves. They're way better branding themselves than I am, and that's how you make money. Uh, so yeah, no, that definitely took the weight off of my shoulders for like I just at the very end of the day, I knew that people would at least like listen to my songs at the beginning, and then it was up to me to try to take them somewhere. But no, I'm having a good time with it.
Great.
Yeah,
Thanks. I got like a million questions I could ask you, but I want to open up to the rest of the floor. I'm gonna ask you one more question because I'm the host
for
and
sure,
I get to
for sure.
control what we do.
And you're doing a great
So
job.
thanks. You're talking about. I think you said you went to the Grammys, like you made all these connections, whatever. I just want to hear like maybe some stories. Maybe one. Who's the most like famous person you met, like random famous person, and then who's kind of like the favorite famous person or funniest person or whatever that you've gotten to meet.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that was the funniest thing because there's no reason I should have been there at all. But there's also what I found out there's so many people that just go there and have tickets, and there's no reason why they should be there, but it's just a big event and you really just have to know someone, and that's the entire city of Los Angeles. You can know one person and be terrible at everything and just make millions of dollars. It's crazy. Um, but yeah, no, I just ended up trying to. I made friends just being myself and trying to make friends, which ended up getting me connections, people, um, and then at the same time, my music was like having a little moment. So I was getting like kind of courted a little bit, which I ended up at the end signing a little distribution deal. But it was all just, yeah, I ended up getting to do that. And it was very fun. I was like right next to Tyler, the creator. Just like the second I got there, I went in the doors right behind him. It was very intimidating. I took a picture. First person I saw there, my mindset like going there was like I'm just just say hi. And it's like it's not even a big deal. You just treat them like a normal person, and then you'll make memories that last lifetime. You know. And I got there and I saw DJ Khaled. It was the first person I saw there, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, DJ Khaled?" And he was like, "You want a picture?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, sure." And then I took a picture of DJ Khaled. I didn't even ask him. I thought I was gonna ask him, which I probably was going to, but I did that. And then I saw Quavo, and I was just like, then I asked him for a picture and took a picture with him, and I felt cool. Every celebrity was there. I said Anderson .Paak was handsome. He was like, "Thank you," because he looked handsome at the time. I just was like right next to, because you all just walk in together. It's like it's not like a line or anything. You just walk. Everyone walks in, like the people who are not celebrities and the celebrities. Everyone walks in. So when I walked into the actual doors of the building, I was right next to Young Thug the whole time. We just walked in the building together for probably like 100 yards. We were just walking right next to each. He's so tall, and I was just like, "What the shit? That's Young Thug." I had a 5-minute conversation with Keith Urban, just because he was friends with the guy who brought me. Super nice guy. I don't like his songs at all, but he was very nice, which was fun. I watched the show, had a great time, and then just again through people I'd become friends with, went to the after parties. It was I got invited to 2 parties and then got uninvited to one of them. I got invited. I had a ton of friends who were going to the Billie Eilish after party, and then she won every award, and it was too big of a deal, and so I got uninvited. And then after everyone went to that one, they all went to the Benny Blanco party. If you're familiar with him, he's a producer. And I had become friends with a lot of people in a circle. I'd never met him. I'd been in his apartment in New York City, just because I'd met people at a show one time. It's a very nice apartment, and that was cool. But yeah, so that party was crazy. I got very intoxicated. I drank probably 10 White Claws. Because I met every celebrity was there. I talked to like Lil Nas X. He had just won Grammys. And I was so drunk. I was like, it was kind of embarrassing. I mean, I'm like, wasn't being an idiot. I was being like a normal person. But if you know Dominic Fike, we ended up peeing in a bush together because the line to the bathroom was too long. And then we were like giving each other high fives while we were peeing, which was kind of fun. He does not remember me now, but we had a little friendship moment. The best story from that night, though, I met literally every celebrity, and talked to them everyone at least for like a minute. It was cool. But it was very crowded, and I was there with another one of my friends who was a musician. His name's Lonely God. We were there together, and it was really crowded, so we were like trying to walk around the whole time to like talk to people. And Machine Gun Kelly was there, and completely randomly, like I was not antagonizing him, but we were walking around, and he ended up being like right in front of me every time we would go walk somewhere. And so I would have to cut in front of him, and I would every single time I said, "Oh, sorry, Mr. Gun Kelly, excuse me, Mr. Gun Kelly, sir, I apologize," and I would walk in front of him. And the 6th time I did that, he said, "Dude, shut the fuck up." And I was like, "I'm sorry, Mr. Gun Kelly." And that's my Machine Gun Kelly story. And yeah, it was a crazy night. There's no reason I should have been there at all. But it was fun. I talked to celebrities, which was cool. Some of them were nice, some of them were not nice, but yeah, it was a cool experience.
Awesome. I feel like you've left a lot on the table for the listeners to ask about. So I think we'll open it up. If you guys, you can type it in or like unmute yourself, say hi. So yeah, if anyone has questions, go for it. A lot of takers.
Is there like a chat somewhere, or if there?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Let me get a full.
Just based on that last story quickly, I'm curious which other celebrities were assholes. Because by all accounts, Machine Gun Kelly is a bit of an asshole, but
he wasn't like it. I don't know if he's an asshole. I mean, I've heard generally he's not the nicest guy, but I mean, I I was going, excuse me, Mr. Gun Kelly, sir, excuse me, every like 6 times. Of course he's gonna be like, shut up. But I like to say that he was an asshole to me. He was also there with a girl. He was there with Noah Cyrus. They were like dating at the time. I don't know how old she is, but there is an age difference there, which is legal. But as some people think it's weird, I'm not one to. It's whatever. Anyways, but yeah, no. I mean, I don't know. That was something. Other people that were assholes to me. I don't know. I wouldn't just want to say a name without being 100% confident. There were a lot of people there that were not celebrities too. It was like label people, like A&Rs and stuff. And then like other people like me who just got invited for some reason. Most of the people who were being assholes were those people, not in like not an obvious asshole way, but in a like in LA, like I'm more important than you kind of way, or like you are of no value to me until you are the celebrity sort of thing. Without even saying it, just sort of like in the eyes, like that's what's happening. There are a lot of people who just like will not look you in the eyes or like even talk to you, have a 10-second conversation unless you are of value to them, which definitely rubbed me the wrong way. But that's life. I don't know. It was more so that, but that was my big funny story from that night. I hope you have a good dinner also.
Thank you.
Have a great time. So should I just read off the other question in here from Rock Bell? I couldn't hear you, but I'm going to do that.
Oh yeah, go for it. Sorry.
Okay, no, you're good. So what's the process for getting beats? Do you work with specific people or do you see what comes across? So you got me back in story mode again. I'm sorry, I'm going for it though. So how everything started, I started just finding YouTube beats online and then rapping over those, and that was like, obviously it's not the desired thing that you want for your beats, but from there I like dropped those songs and they were whatever, and then someone found them. He was an exchange student from I think Denmark, but I don't quote me on that because I might be incorrect. But he was, I believe, from Denmark. He had been an exchange student in Arizona in high school for 1 year and then had gone back to Denmark. But in that 1 year my music had gotten to that high school. And so he had heard of it and liked my music. So he sent me a couple beats and I went through them. And one of them was a beat that was sampling Mr. Sandman. So I asked for that one. And then that song ended up getting me 11 million streams completely randomly. So he would send me beats sometimes. He ended up being like my guy. But then from there, I had a friend in my comedy club who I'd gone to high school with, who also made music and was way better than me, was like a rapper, but he had a ton of friends who were like producers. So he introduced me to them. One of them his name's Eli. He goes by Technician. He ended up being my main producer for my first album, my second album. I worked with him and my mixing engineer, Noah. So they've been helping me for a while. But over the pandemic, when I lost my ability to record, I shifted my attention towards making beats. So now I make my own beats. So this next project will have, it's some new songs I produced, the majority of them. And then I'm collabing with someone else who produced the beat. But yeah, that's how I go make beats. My favorite producer is Timbaland. I'm very inspired by him. So yes. Next question. Thoughts on Spotify's dominance? Is the algorithm playlist system good because it can help people with less visibility make it big? I've only had the best possible experience. They're like, I would say the main reason why I've had any success at all in music. I mean, there are a lot of people that help me and myself also, but I mean, I don't know how their algorithm works, but it has helped me. But I mean, it's like any algorithm. They'll help you and then they won't. So I've definitely been frustrated a few times, but especially during my name change, when I changed my name and had to redistribute all of my songs to a new page, I was really worried about losing my following and my like actual specific follower count. They were very very good customer service wise at immediately switching my numbers and getting back to me, better than any company that I've ever had to deal with customer service. I was in fear of losing like the people who actually followed my page. It's like 22,000 people. I switched pages, I switched names, so I was terrified of losing them. I emailed them within 10 minutes they had transferred. It was like they were so cool about it. So I've just because I'm biased, I'm a fan of them. At the same time, it is not sympathy, like they're like everything, there's a risk of monopolization, and they have they are not innocent either. So I definitely have criticisms, but generally I'm very thankful for everything that I have been given from them. So yes. How long does it tend to take for you to get a song done, inception to execution? Any trend in creative process? Good question. Um, this one, so it varies. I try to I want to be a storyteller. I wouldn't say I am, or that I'm good at doing it, but I mean, like anyone else, that's what not like anyone. I mean, that's just if you like it or don't. I like to try to tell stories. So that it's more so it's difficult also when you don't have a ton of life. Like I have life experiences, but past year I have not gone anywhere, so it's hard to uh, like have ideas um, in that sense. In at least from what I've seen, love songs are the 100% way to go for every successful pop song. Is that's the everyone wants love, you know. And I have never experienced it until I got a girlfriend recently. I brought her back up. I apologize. But that was cool because it's, you know, I can't write a song unless I have experience in the topic of it. So that's something that's been exciting for me. Trying to just have like life experiences that inspire me to delve into a topic. Also mixed with just the general like braggadocious nature of like rap music and popular music. And again, just I started out trying to be a comedian. So, and that's generally like my number one personality trait. That's the thing of every other trait, that's the thing I'm best at doing, is trying to be funny. I hate saying that also because someone could totally just think I'm not funny, and also maybe I'm not. Who knows? I don't know what the right answer is, but that's just more so. I try to be funny. I try to have like serious thoughts about like important things in life, stuff like that. I want to grow with my music and just like how I grow as a person. In terms of like actually making a song, if I have an idea for a song, it'll take 10 minutes. If I'm just trying to shit out actual lyrics, it could take days. But generally, once I at least figure out what I want the hook of a song to be or the general like theme of the song, it could take 10, 20 minutes. If I'm like really feeling it, they just come out. So yeah, just the creative process is more so just trying to figure out like life experiences, pop culture stuff, things that I'm just really thinking about in the moment. And then, yeah, it could take however long. Next question. Also, if I'm talking too long or if there's like a time, just let me know. But yeah, thank you. You sound very independently driven. Thank you very much. In your creative and song making process, even when it comes to arriving at personal epiphanies on what really matters during the pandemic. How much would you consider the support presence of your loved ones and friends to affect your creative process? How does your girlfriend view and act with your pursuits? Congrats on the 6-month anniversary as well. Thank you very much. You guys are so nice. They're crazy. How much would I consider the presence of loved ones to affect my creative process? I'm the luckiest person in the world in that I have the coolest parents that I could have asked for. My dad's a creative person. He was a news reporter for 34 years. And he was like a storyteller too. And I have a lot of similar traits to him, as so, and they've also been, I think also from his experience, he went to law school, he was a lawyer, and he left that life and became a reporter because his passion was, he did radio broadcasting in college, and that was like his club experience. So he ended up going to TV. So he was really uh, like accepting of me trying to do stand up. Like when I was in high school, he would come and record me. When I was trying to make music, he helped me get equipment and stuff. They've helped me they've been very supportive. My mom also, especially with the sexual, embarrassing, comedic nature of the lyrics, and my name also. I have aunts and uncles that are gonna hear me be like, I come on in songs, which is embarrassing, but also I don't give a shit about my aunts and uncles. I see them once, but no, I think that was, so the support of my loved ones, I could not imagine not having their support. I would not be anywhere close to where I am now. And my girlfriend's the coolest person. She kicks a lot of ass. You'd say she kicks an extreme amount of ass. So she does animation, drawing stuff. She likes she's in that sort of world as well. And she's cool. I'm not a jealous person. I never get mad. We never get in fights. She's the same way. So if I'm rapping about girls or whatever, just because that's like a rap staple, she doesn't care about that. Not that I don't. Some people do, which is weird. But I mean, I get it. I don't know. So she's been cool. But yeah, so they've definitely been integral in my experiences trying to be a musician. I'm very funny and a great storyteller. You guys are crazy. This is so nice. Thank you very much. Wait, also, how many people are in the Zoom call? Is it just us? I'm seeing 4 faces.
Yeah,
Is how many people? Is it just all of us?
yeah, it's all of us. Yeah.
So there's 14 in total.
14. Thank you. Very
Oh,
cool.
sorry.
You guys are a fun club. Any predictions for music trends? Do you think SoundCloud rap, trap, humorous rap are going to stick around for a while? I'm still doing it, so I hope so. If not, I have no idea what I'm going to do with my life. But I'll figure it out. There's no point in setting plans. You should have plans for things you want to do, but don't hate yourself if things don't happen. You're not in control of everything. Could just go away, so if I had any answers, I would be more successful than I was now. But sincere predictions for music trends, I feel like humorous rap, not in the form that it's in right now, but definitely I feel like the main selling point of any artist, other than actually good music, is personality, image, connections, everything. Mostly connections. You could just know people and be a famous musician. It's crazy. And I don't really even think that good music is having good music doesn't matter. You could just be a TikTok star and make a song and get a top 50 hit. Lil Huddy, if you're familiar, TikTok star, just released a song about vampires or some shit. And he's a pretty boy, and I wish him the best. I'm never gonna wish downfall on someone for just like that. But that's the second he released a song, it's in 20 Spotify playlists. So predictions for music trends, if you have a following anywhere else, you can make a song and be successful. So I guess just the TikTok boom until, I mean, that's huge right now. They control the music industry, but I still think that bubble is going to go up until it doesn't.
So wait, before we do the next question, Cameron,
Yes.
I want to leave. We're slated to be done at 12 our time, so we got a few more
Yeah.
minutes left. I want to leave you some time to talk about future directions, your album that's coming out soon. But before that, I have just one more question for you. Sorry, Selena.
Go for it.
And we're all stressed out, Oxford students here. We got exams coming up soon.
You guys are gonna kill it.
We want to be, maybe some of us want to be A&Rs, want to be lawyers on the other side. The question I have for you, how has your success, your music career, how's that changed the way that you think about, maybe careers or life or, things like that? Maybe coming from a different perspective, because we're all stressed about exams.
For sure.
Yeah.
First of all, you guys are gonna kill it. But also, I can't imagine exams at Oxford University. I mean, I just know that you guys are the smarty pants. I get it. But you're gonna do great. I took exams at ASU, so I don't. I literally I was a film study, or not film. I was a screenwriting major. I had like 2 tests my entire senior year. I mean, I like wrote big scripts and stuff, so I had things to do, but I never had tests. It was a complete waste of time and money. But anyways, you guys are gonna do great. And if not, there's a lot of life. Don't kill yourselves over it. No. So I forgot the question. I'm not going to lie.
It was like us as students were stressed out about studying and stuff. But how has your success changed the way that you think about career, life in general?
Gotcha.
all
Yeah,
that
yeah,
kind of
okay.
stuff, yeah.
Has my career changed? I mean, I would say I definitely, this pandemic, like everyone else, I'm not special, but I had a lot of like thoughts about just like my purpose or whatever, all that stuff. Which definitely obviously was I wouldn't say my music career is actually, it has. Okay, I'll just start talking. So I mean, just getting a ton of like attention when you're like a college kid and you have like independence for the first time, and like people like think you're funny or they care about you or whatever, is cool. I wasn't like super popular in high school. I had like friends, but like it was a thing where like you have like a friend and they're your best friend, but they have like 5 other friends that are more important to them than you, type of thing. Like my friend group didn't even let me go to prom with them. My mom had to drive me, which kind of just like depressed me a little bit. I have a picture. No, I'm not gonna get into that. Anyways, but yeah. So I mean, once I went to college, I made like actually good friends who were like similar to me interest wise, and I got like a song that did really well. It made me feel like I was I'm gonna be a celebrity, and everyone else will see I'll be the big guy. Hell yeah. And then it seemed like everyone in my like scene, I came in at the perfect time for making like the type of music that I make, right at the like boom, like 2016, like late 2016, early 2017. And then seemed like everything was going up, but then I just kind of plateaued and I stayed where I was for like a year. And I watched everyone else around me get huge. And like in my head, I was always like, I'm just as good, if not better than a lot of these people. I'm creative. I'm funny. I'm good at writing. And I not to be like a dick or a douche, because like they're all like way better at making music than me. But I didn't think, I thought I was better than, like in the thing that I was doing, I thought I was better than a lot of other people that were getting way more successful than me. But I just didn't have like the connections. These people had like knew like famous people or like already had like a following somewhere that I didn't in the same way. And I think that was a reason that I plateaued. And also just like the rate at which I was making songs, I think I was too much of a perfectionist. I cared too much which I think is a good thing anyways. I'm proud of the things I made. But then it, like kind of like plateauing a little bit made me like you watch the numbers and you see numbers going up and then they completely fall. Not like completely. I have like a lot of listeners still. I'm grateful, but you attach your sense of self-worth to it, and when it fluctuates, you sense like you don't think you as like a person are cared about or all that shit. So when the like peak of that like numbers shift happened, mostly just from changing my name and like difficulties from that, I felt like no one gave a shit about me. And I'm someone who has a history of mental health problems. I think most people are. So it was like difficult for a second to like have even the drive to keep making things, or like the actual, it's hard to like be funny when you're like sad all the time. And that's, I was like, you have to be in a specific mindset to like do certain things. And then I just kind of had like moments of like listening to my songs. It was mostly when I started making actual beats, and I like really like felt excited about stuff I was making, and I could finally like actually decide how my music sounds in a way that I haven't felt like I've ever really had. And I think I do have a good ear for things. I know what I like. Maybe I'm not the best at like predicting trends in songs, but I know what I like and I know the music that I want to make. So yeah, it was more so just kind of figuring out what really makes me happy as a person, and realizing that people become successful whether they deserve it or not. Nepotism. You could just be like someone's kid and have $1 million for no reason. You can't attach your sense of self-worth to your stuff. You have to dig deeper than that and find actual like meaning to your life, at least in my experience. I'm not talking for anyone else, but I mean, for you guys, I mean, you're Oxford University students. That's pretty sick. At least it sounds cool. I don't know, but yeah, no, you're gonna have great lives. So I don't remember if I answered the question well enough.
You got it. You got it.
Can I answer the last ones real quick? Like
Yeah,
very
go for
fast?
lightning round.
Okay.
Lightning round.
Okay, lightning round. After ditching, was that the last one? After ditching Final Cut, any specific software you use? Okay, so I quit Final Cut a while ago and ended up just making songs with my friends on the music, like the stuff on their computers, and they all used Ableton. And when I started making songs, one of them just pirated a version of Ableton to me. So I use Ableton to produce, and I just download drum kits and like loops and stuff on Reddit r/drum kits, or like anywhere you can find good samples. Be careful about the ones. To ask why he doesn't eat, my parents are downstairs, but I have one time. Don't tell them. Yeah, it was more so that was like a meme at the time. It was like an internet joke at the time. And I won't say that I am happy that that's the title of my #1 song. I have no idea whether that's going to stay my #1 song forever, but it has been at the top for several years. So that's probably what's going to happen. And I feel great about it because now I am 22 years old. So it's fantastic. But no, I mean, it's awesome. It's made me more money than I thought I would ever be able to make off of posting songs on the internet. So would I ever consider doing a Filthy Frank to Joji type of genre brand? He was very lucky to have like an actual fan base and following on more than just like YouTube. I have a good, safe following on Spotify, but I don't have a lot of YouTube, or I have like 10,000 followers on Instagram, but they don't care about me that much. If I had more of a solid like back to like feel comfortable, I would probably do that. Although that doesn't even matter. It's more if I just wanted to make a different type of music or not. And I do, but I also feel like my number one go-to trait in any situation is to try to be funny. My sense of humor is going to change as I grow older, but I'm still, that's still going to be a factor in a lot of my things, and I am comfortable with the brand that I have around that, especially because I just switched the name a few months ago. So I'm going all in, full send on the name Nut. I was thinking also about getting a stomach tattoo like Tupac has or had, but it would say Nut. I don't know if that's a great idea, but it's like, who's gonna see my stomach? Who gives a shit? I don't care, Mom, that you're mad at me. So if I do that, I don't know. I want to get tattoos, but it's a whole decision. Anyways, at what rate do Spotify streams translate to real world cash? I will say it varies a lot, also by country, but generally a million streams equates to about $400 to $4,500. It's better to be on YouTube. If you get a sizable YouTube following, they make way more money there. But yeah, it's about a million streams is about probably $4,200, something like that. Quick question: pro tips for creative strut. I was just in a creative strut, and I'm sorry, Kaede. I will finish quickly. It is 5 minutes past. I'm sorry. So real quick, I am in full album mode. I have to finish in the next 2 weeks, so I can begin like shooting videos and like you have to put it on Spotify a month before the release for like playlist stuff. And I have to add another song to my album, and I have like other songs that I've made, but I kind of I have like a beat that I think I can do well on, so I have to make a song really fast. And I've been staying up at night, like fixing the beat and trying to write lyrics, and I had no idea what to say. And my general thing is also because I have a lot of free time and I don't have an actual job. I just go on the internet and I go on Twitter, I see what's like trending, what people are talking about. I'll go on Reddit and Wikipedia and just go through deep dives on just the most random shit. I was in a YouTube page, or not, no, I was in a Wikipedia page about all the like entertainment and like American like cultural moments that like were affected by 9/11, like the movies that were canceled and stuff like that. I ended up reading all that shit. It did not help me in the moment, but made me, it just, it made me think about different things. And then at that second, I just write the dumbest lyrics possible, just literally anything I can shit out. Like bad rhymes, bad lyrics. But eventually, like maybe one of those is gonna be funny or like a good thought, and then the next day when I actually have an idea, I can fit some of the lyrics, the shitty ones I wrote, into like actual songs. There are times that I just recorded like a terrible song and that was not good, but I just wrote literally anything I could get out, and then that ended up being like half of another song that I just released, and that did well. So literally just getting anything that I can out, and then hopefully I'll be able to use some of that later when I'm having better ideas. Yes, it seems like that is the end.
Yep. So I think you've made 14 new fans if they weren't already fans before. So maybe just tell all your new fans what's coming up in the future. Give a little plug.
First of all, thank you all for being official nuts. I appreciate it. You guys are all nuts in my heart. Yeah, I have an album coming out. When it comes out, I'm not gonna give you a date because I still have to finish a song. I'm not doing, I have things to do. But my goal is to get it out end of February, early March, if need be. It'll be 8 songs. By the time it comes out, 5 of the songs will have already come out. So it's not like it's anything special. But it's with terms of my distribution deal. But I have 4 new songs, one of which will be a single 2 weeks before. I made all the beats myself. I have a guy playing violin in the back that I chopped up, which was cool. A feature with another guy who has like 800,000 monthly listeners, who is one of my friends, and that should hopefully do well. But yeah, I don't. It's my first official Nut release. I worked hard on it. I think it is good. I don't know your music taste, so you might not like it. I won't be offended. I don't care. But if you like to share it or be like, this guy's cool in comment sections, I wouldn't be mad. I would think that is cool. And maybe we could be friends outside of school, just like in a real life. Who knows? But yeah, do whatever you want. You can support me or not. I don't give a shit. But yes, album dropping when it comes out. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Nut.
Nat.
Thank
It
you
was
for
an
having
absolute
me.
pleasure. Thank you for sharing
Thank
your
you so
wisdom
much.
with us. Yeah.
I wish you all a successful successful test season.
Thanks,
Uh,
Nat.
I'm not gonna read that out loud, but thank you very much, Julian. I appreciate your kindness. Yeah, OG, look at that's cool. That's fun. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. We could be friends, Julian. We could just kick it. We could talk about football, soccer, football, or I don't know what you like. But yeah, thank you guys very much.
Great. Thank you, Nat.
Thank you.
Have a
Alright.
good life.
Thanks.
Thank you, man.